all of that's still damaged.
But isn't this more cosmetic compared to where we were at and where the buildings have been?
I mean, like I said, it's looking better. I'm not disputing that. It's
Don't you
looking
think
better.
Valencia looks
Yeah.
better than it ever has? You know, when we first bought it, we had holes in the building.
Yeah, you had a severe termite issue.
Yeah, we had a severe termite issue. You know, we're looking with fine tooth and comb to see termites now because we know we had a severe termite issue. We've remedied such huge, vast acres of land. This is 7 acres of land. We've
It's
done.
almost like they're just for.
I mean,
It's
I mean, now that you mention it, it does look like it's inferior craftsmanship with what I'm noticing because the majority of this is done, and then exactly what you're pointing out looks like the one little piece that someone left.
Not up there.
Yeah. I agree that these last little bits should be done. We've came so far.
But then I have no discretion. Once it goes to the hearing,
Yeah.
I have no discretion in saying,
Okay.
yeah, it's looking better.
Well,
And I mean, it doesn't have to be 100%,
I mean, we have no
but there's still,
complaints of leaks.
Yeah, this is where we fall through because you remember we're behind on the PVC deliveries. There's just certain things that are out of our control.
it's like painting the room
She
and not
understood
cutting
that.
the trim around the room. Here, you got trim going across. Now, this doesn't look bad here. It just looks odd.
Well, can you give us a little bit of confidence we're on the right track and
Yes.
and maybe you notice an
I
improvement
do
yourself?
notice an improvement. I do notice an improvement.
When Mrs. Strange owned it, did it ever look this good?
Probably not. But you gotta realize I've only been around and in the field here since 2005. You purchased it in 2010.
10. And in your experience, Mrs. Strange never had it look this good, and we've never had it look this good because I would know from my own experience. And as you,
It may have looked better when you first came in and we worked those 2 years to bring it into compliance because all the buildings were painted at that point. There was always rotten wood, but not to the degree that we saw last year.
but at this point, the rotten wood's not
Not what?
as much.
No.
It's not as much as last time you passed this either.
Last time we didn't have a code case. We worked with you because you had purchased, we had a case,
You had a case.
but we never took it to a hearing. We agreed to work with you when you purchased it to bring it up
Yeah,
because it was so bad.
yeah. And then we passed with it not as bad.
It never went to a hearing. I have no discretion once it goes to a hearing. Because the board rules on it. We're the eyes of the board for the compliance portion.
The last time we were in compliance, and this time we're not, and we look better this time.
I wouldn't say you look better. You look as good. You're getting to the point where you were when you brought it into compliance last time. Last time we went section by section by section because you were a new owner. You walked into a mess. You purchased a mess. We worked with you to bring it into compliance. This time you are the owner. You let it turn into a mess. You didn't buy somebody else's mess. You allowed the rot and the decay over a 10-year period, 10, 12-year period.
Well, we were in compliance in
I'm not going to argue the
2012.
Jim.
Oh, we weren't
I'm
in
not going to
compliance.
argue it.
I'm just trying to understand. If we were in compliance 2012,
You never went to a hearing.
yeah.
We had discretion. We were able to work with you. Once you go to a hearing, I don't have discretion. The board rules. All code violations are alleged violations until they're heard by the board. The board concurs whether or not it's a violation, and they find you in violation.
All right. So since we already addressed this area, and you showed me what kind of small details I'm gonna work on
Yeah,
this
like
area.
the trim work,
Yeah.
a lot of it is just the bottom portions of the building.
Okay.
So trim work, bottom portions.
So if we walk towards the front,
Mhm.
we're like work on more majorly. I want to make sure that I'm up to the right par in those areas, so that way I can walk away from that side of the building. You know, I
Okay.
just want to make sure we're on the right page.
Yeah.
Moving forward to moving forward, I have
Miss Laura George, does your department cover Bartow?
No. Well, this is Hillsborough County only. Anything outside of Hillsborough County, they have their own code enforcement jurisdiction, including the city of Tampa. Temple Terrace has a portion. Anything incorporated by another municipality has their own code enforcement.
And you're in unincorporated Hillsborough? One time I
Yes.
heard we're unincorporated.
Yes.
I don't know what that means.
Meaning that it hasn't been, like Temple Terrace has its own municipality. We have a portion of Temple Terrace, not all of Temple Terrace. And when you buy into Temple Terrace, it's like buying into an HOA. They're much stricter.
Yeah, they're much
than
stricter.
Hillsborough County.
Yeah.
Even there, that three piece is not. So it looks like a lot of what we're finding is just trim and
Lower end.
lower end.
But how can we complete? I mean, I agree with, hey, you don't think I want to own the best looking building on the block?
I'm never gonna go through with a fine-tooth comb or a white glove.
Yeah.
But when we can walk through and just say that, and that.
Yeah.
I mean, we have came a long way.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
I mean, we did other stuff just because I thought you might like it. At one time, you said you didn't like that the tenants won't close their blinds, so I said, why don't we put mirror tint on the front?
No. It wasn't
And then
that
this
the-
way,
it wasn't
it'll
that
look prettier.
tenants don't close their blinds.
Well, how do you like the mirror tint?
I'm just now noticing it. What I had noticed was, and this wasn't just this apartment complex, whenever there was a vacant unit, they would leave the blinds open.
Yeah, and that allows
That-
people to come in. And,
Yeah, they break in when they see that it's a vacant unit.
Well, so now as you look at them, is that harder to recognize the vacant units?
It would be,
It would be.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think when I look at myself, I always like looking at myself. So I think that's probably the best looking thing I could see all day.
Okay, she's enjoying her run.
Is she running?
Yes, she's running with her baby.
Oh.
But-
Headphones.
But are we getting somewhere on the look that we're trying to do? I want to
Yeah.
make sure that,
And the flags, you've replaced a lot of the flags again.
Yes.
well,
And that has nothing to do with code enforcement.
no, it does because I think that
It could be a code violation, but it's nothing we can ever address.
Yeah. No, I try to stay up on top of it. Like
Yeah.
we got 3 down. I just ordered the other one.
all right.
Yeah, we.
I notice the flags when I drive past.
Yeah.
People notice the flag. I like hearing stuff like that
Yeah,
because
you notice
that was something that my dad wanted us to do, and now that I hear people years later say, hey, I kind of think about flags when I think about currency. I like hearing.
I'm like, this needs to come down on the list. On the list. To the tenants and to the property owner, all Christmas stuff needs to come down.
I'm gonna zigzag this
Yeah, no, that's cool.
through there, that piece up there.
Okay. The soffit piece?
No, the piece of wood trim right under the soffit is cracked and split.
Okay.
And how can you observe that? Because we really have.
What's going on?
That is during the hurricane. The tenant put it up. It's just boarded.
Okay.
It was their board. I'll have them take it down today.
These people are getting a little.
Yeah, these kids.
Crafty.
Yeah, they're. See, everybody. You see what I was saying? I mean, like I have a few that are still very
See, I like the idea of us taking a picture, because we're talking through this white glove. You
No,
don't.
I'm not gonna do a white.
I know, but I'm considering the only way I'm ever going to get past code is if I do a white drone glove. So I talked with Maribel about buying a drone, so we would be able to take pictures with the drone and send it to our color printer, and we can send the tenant the picture of this, and we can send to staff the pictures of stuff that
That's not
we
even
might.
Monday and the Corona bottles are out.
No, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. Like, as you have walked through, you've seen the difference between some tenants. I'm like, I'm always gonna get 3 or 4 that are not gonna listen. You know, and I have the guys catching up due to the holiday on the trash, and they didn't pick up on Monday, you know. But at the same time, I'm keeping tenants accountable. As you see, there's not that. Remember before they all have piled up under the stairs
Yes,
and things. There's
yes,
a lot of accumulation. We've worked on that and stayed on top of it.
Remember that paint's coming off, and the trim. I can't even see that door. We'll just stick to that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where they possibly landmine. That little piece under the soffit too,
Okay.
and there seems to be another one on that other section of the building. That side's looking better than some of the stuff that's going on in the city.
Yeah. Completed that part.
That's the Verizon box.
I know. I wish I could take this out. I wish there was a way to like have this removed, because we close these doors every single day, and every single day the kids open it back up.
Do you guys even have like Verizon?
We don't even have it.
You take the camera, we'll come pick up your equipment. Again, it's just the rotten sections near the bottom. This, the paint's come off of that.
Miss anything?
Yeah, it's the bottom section that's rotted out. This trim piece. Paint's coming off of there. Again, there. The bottom section. This whole piece over here near the electrical and the service stuff.
Yeah, well, this the whole section right now is just, I'm reporting it right now to the guys. Yeah.
I don't know what your tenants, did your guys do this or your tenants?
No, the tenants did.
Yeah, this whole back side needs some attention. The rotting wood, the paint peeling. the middle section.
How can we get through the code?
What do you mean?
$500 a day is a big tax for our company. I mean, we absolutely thought that this was going to be done in a month, and I said, okay, we're going to spare no expense and become 100% up to compliance, and everyone said it was life safety issues, and because it's life safety issues, we're going to charge you $500 a day. And then it turned to, it's a year later, and we're still spending every single penny we can come up with, and it doesn't seem like the end is near.
It's getting there. I told Maribel, save all receipts, and when it comes into compliance, then you can contact Citizen Board Support to negotiate the lien down, include all the receipts, the expenditures in with that. Here, this piece of wood is,
But I feel like I'm not being heard because you yourself had said to the board it would take 6 months
and here
to
we're a
do
year
it.
later, so 6 months wouldn't have done you any good either.
And I had
The board's
said
the one that made the decision.
last time it took 2 years, and thinking they didn't understand the extent of what was being asked.
They
maybe?
understood
That it was the
that
whole
when
entire
when we
seven.
worked with you the first time, it was because you purchased a mess.
Right.
When you went to the hearing this time, is you allowed the property to get in that condition.
Yeah.
So they were not gonna give you that break. But they have a refrigerator outside.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, they gave us 45 days? Did they understand it was as extensive as
That-
it was? Because they
That's
saw.
why they gave you 45 days. They were angered by the fact you let the property get in that condition.
I thought we were doing good. We hadn't had a code enforcement complaint
On
in
the
2.5
interior,
years.
which is why we had not been around to look at the exterior. The fire marshal called us in because of the condition of the property.
Yeah. How did that go? How does he call it?
Oh, we work with the sheriff's department, we work with the fire marshal, we work with EPC, we work with the health department. If we need them, we call them in. If they need us, they call us in. We also go in on warrants attached to animal services for pet hoarding cases.
Is that something we need to do right now?
What? Get a warrant? For what?
I'm trying to get through the violation because I thought we were like generally a good complex with code.
You're good with your tenants, and because you were good with your tenants and because the tenants took control of the property, nobody was complaining. That's what kept us off the property. But when the fire marshal came out, it was so bad, he asked us to come out.
Yeah,
Then he passed that.
yeah. Fire marshal has passed this
Yeah,
now
fire
for a
marshal
year,
has
and
passed
he's
it.
coming back again.
Yeah,
Did he come back? I asked for the same fire marshal guy that came out the first time.
yeah,
to
he
come
said,
out. I'm trying to get
October
through
he-
this fine. I don't mind doing the best for the complex. I've always told you I like to be 100% in compliance. I don't have an issue with white gloving it. My
This wouldn't
biggest
even
concern-
pass, other than white glove. This back section here
yeah,
needs
no,
a lot of work.
this now I know I have to handle, because like I said,
I'm
we
curious
keep
if you could even
walking,
find
you'll
another
see
spot as
that-
bad as
right,
this.
you won't see another spot as bad as this, because all the accumulate, it's very clear when we talk in the office. I have a few tenants who are under eviction, this happens to be one of them. Due to the fact that no matter what I say, I literally had to tow their cars out.
Yeah.
Because I kept giving them a break and saying, okay, they were like, oh, next week we're gonna go get our sticker, next week we're gonna get our sticker. And their car was on my property for 3 months without them even, handling it. So at this point in time, I'm not giving you a break. I'm going forward with what I need to have done, in order for us to pass. I mean, at the end of the day, other tenants were happy because now they had 2 parking spaces.
Right, well, that's just it. You're parking, you
I-
have a lot of parking.
I think I've also been a little confused on who's heading this case. At one time, I think it was Eric, and at the other time, I thought it was someone from the fire department.
No, the
And
fire
the whole
department
time-
doesn't head our cases.
Wasn't there
They're separate.
a new, who was the last code enforcement that used to work for the fire department that was new to code enforcement that came here within the last 3 months?
Okay, just
Maybe I'm getting
give me
bad
1 second.
information.
You are.
Okay.
You're heading this.
Hey, Jim,
I'm not heading it.
do you have your Capital One card available right now? I have Douglas picking up the manifold for the apartment that he's working on. And otherwise I have to go to the office to go get, the card.
Take a look.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Excuse us while we do some business.
Okay, 4802 1379 9811 3775 3775. Sí. $699. $0225. 336-12. Ujú. ¿Listo? Está bien, papá, gracias. Sorry, papá.
All right, thank you.